Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. And as always, I have to start my podcast off with a poem. And this poem is called Hateration. And it's from my book, Naked to the World, available now where books are sold. Hateration. They didn't like my best friend in kindergarten because he was light-skinned and had curly hair. They didn't like my mother because she spoke her mind. They didn't like my dad because he was married to the woman who spoke her mind. They didn't like Noah because he spent too much time building a boat. They didn't like Moses because they thought he didn't know his way out of Egypt. They didn't like Martin, Malcolm, or Michael, as in Jackson, because they were black men with a purpose. They didn't even like Jesus for no reason at all. So why in the world would I care if they like me? And I just wanted to do that poem actually in conjunction with the subject matter today. I want to talk about dismissing haters in our lives, identifying haters and just letting them go and just not giving them the energy I feel that we give them today. I believe that they share too much space in our minds, our hearts, in our being, and they really have no place there. And I think there are different types of haters, and that word is very unusual. I never thought I would use it. Didn't really know what the definition was of a hater. But it kept coming up when people would talk to me in reference to my social media presence. Why I wasn't getting the likes or the loves or support that, people were hating on me. And I really started to believe that. And the scary part is I really don't know what people are actually hating on, because I feel like if you're hating on someone, that means they have something that you don't have. And I don't have a whole lot, so I don't really totally understand where the hating is coming in at. But I will say that I don't hate on people. I've been inspired by people. People have maybe accomplished things that I've wanted or done things that I've wanted to do. And I've added it to my list of things I want to, do in my life in terms of traveling and places I want to go. But I've been inspired by people. And I can't say I've never been envious of people, but not to the point where I've felt like they were undeserving of whatever gifts or wherever their journey has taken them. But I don't understand the actual mindset of a hater. And let me go back first. I believe that we have a lot of haters in our lives disguised as our friends. And those are the people that I really have issue with more than strangers. Strangers can hate on you from a distance. They don't know you. You don't know them. I truly don't have an issue with those people. It's the people that smile in your face, that they can be friends, they could be family, and they genuinely don't want to see you win. They kind of go out their way to undermine your journey in some way. And that part, even I have an issue with. I love seeing my friends and family win. I can genuinely say without even hesitating that I want to see people do well, especially black people. I love seeing us do great things and accomplish stuff. And whether it's a big thing or a small thing, I think we're amazing people. And I'm constantly inspired by my ancestors and the people I see every day. And it's so I can honestly say I really don't hate on anybody. I just don't. So when people hate on me or have any kind of animosity toward me because they feel like I'm getting ahead of them or I'm doing something that they can't do or I have something that they don't have. It I feel like you're wasting a lot of energy on something where you could be getting what's for you. Um, I don't really understand the logic of even with social media. I honestly have issues with a lot of, well, for example, like if I have, let's say, 150 friends online and say one third of that is my family, then I should see 75, 25 to 75 likes or shares on my page. So in my mind, it's like, okay, and I'm not saying you got to like everything that I do, but those things make a difference. They really, really do. So I do have my issues with people and why they don't do certain things because I try to support all my friends and family. If I see they're selling something or if they have some kind of business or opportunity, I try my best to share it, like it, love it, you know, copy and paste it to another site or wherever whatever I can do. Especially, even if I don't have the means to give them money and towards their goals or their dreams. But I believe we're living in a time where you don't have to be rich to make strides. And I don't know about everybody else. My goal isn't to be rich and famous. I want to be able to take care of me and mine. Like my mom says, I don't want to take care of my family, my partner, myself. My parents are getting older. I want to be able to take care of them. I want to be able to put my nieces and nephews through college, my great nieces and nephews, and contribute to their journey as best I can with my wisdom, with my money if I can. And I know they're going to get hated on as they get older. And it's unfortunate when you're black, has somewhat of an education, somewhat artistic being, you're going to get some kind of backlash for being unique and different and outspoken. And that poem I wrote many years ago, but if you dissect it, if you're a believer in Jesus, if you're a believer in people in the Bible, all of them, every great leader, male and female in the Bible, endured being judged and ridiculed for no reason, no real justifiable reason. So why in the world would I think people would treat me any different? You know, and it's challenging to be this person, meaning you're being a singer, or are you supposed to apologize because you sing louder than the person standing next to you? I feel like then they need to step up their game. I think we should be inspired by each other to be great. Um, I'm, I mean, this podcast really isn't, like I said, to point the fingers at haters. It's just that identifying the haters in our lives and just kind of separating ourselves from them if they just don't mean you, any good. And and realizing maybe that if you're a hater, like why are you hating on this person? Why are you affected by their life, their successes, their journey? Why does it bother you so much? Whether they get to the finish line before you, because I feel like if I get ahead, if I get an accolade, or if I'm closer to greatness, then I'm going to bring my friends and family up to greatness as well. And again, to quote Jay Z, if you're the only successful person in your circle, then why is that? Why aren't you helping them come up to where you are, or at least have a level of success that they can be proud of? So, again, identifying the haters in our lives is better to, because I think you have to re examine your circle, online, offline. And I've had a lot of haters in my life that I wasn't aware of. I I'm still processing why people have done some of the things that they've done to me things that I'm aware of, things that they don't even know I'm aware of, behind my back, in my face. And I gotta admit, it's still taking me a long time to process my emotions about people that want to see me fail. I can honestly say I've had friendships where people are used to me being in a downtrodden place. When you have friends that they enjoy seeing you heartbroken or going through tragedy or whatever, and then they just want to wallow in it with you. But the minute you start doing well, the minute your heart is healing, the minute you are in a good place, you have people that will gaslight you. Oh, it's never gonna last. Or when they say things, you got to be careful of people that say things to dismiss your joy. Because boy, whatever is making you happy, they got to come in and you know crap all over it. And I don't I don't attest to that. I don't agree with it. If I even sense that somebody's a hater and somebody's around me, I'm not like I was when I was in my 30s and 40s, when you just everybody seemed cool, everybody was who they said they were. And but nowadays people can really deceive you. And the other thing I want to share that I haven't really talked about is sharing your ideas with people you think look like you. And what I mean is that I was in the music industry for a long time, and then also transitioned to photography and writing. I've shared ideas with people over the years, and they've stolen them. Literally taken my ideas right out from under me and put it out themselves. And I can't even tell you the anger when people you thought were cool are literally stealing your ideas, your concepts, and taking credit for it. And it wouldn't be so bad if they at least acknowledge your influence in it, but to just dismiss you altogether. The list is long of people that have done that to me, and they're not even aware that I know that they did it. And some of them I don't even think they care. Um, and the sad part is I'm not speaking their name because I'm not giving them no credibility to my life, but I am dismissing them in my spirit. And I can honestly say when I'm doing my creative things, I'm not thinking about anybody. The only person I really think about when I'm doing something creative for myself, for my soul, is Prince. And the reason why I think of Prince, because Prince was a huge, or is a huge influence on my life, because he believed in ownership, owning your craft and standing by it and doing things on your terms. If you love it, that's all that matters. There's an audience for it. And I love that he did the music that he wanted, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it. If he felt like doing a jazz album, he did one. If he felt like doing a rock album, he never really catered to people. You either liked his music or you didn't. And that's how I feel about my photography, how I feel about my poetry, how I feel about my posts. I If you don't like it, that's okay. I love it. I really don't seek approval from people. You want your accolades, you want to be acknowledged for what you offer the world. But I can honestly say I'm not seeking approval from the world. I really enjoy what I do, and I really think there's a lane for it. I believe I have my own lane. I don't think it's to be confused with somebody else's lane. I'm not trying to take away from somebody else's lane. I think I'm an awesome poet, but I also think there are other great poets who are just as good as me, if not better. So I'm not taking away from them, but my voice is not their voice, and their voice is not mine. So I have no reason to hate on anyone in that regard. So it's kind of pointless to stew in hateration for people that you don't even know. You know, I'm in a relationship, and there may be people out there hating on me being in a relationship. Probably because they like me, and that's not being arrogant. It's just that a lot of times people hate on you because they want you. But then you don't know me in that way. People hate on what you have, but they don't know what makes that work. What's the dynamic? What's the chemistry? People want your life, but they don't know your life. Why would I be envious of somebody I don't even know what has got them there, what sacrifices they've made to be there. That's the part that and the other thing that gets me through is that whatever God has for me is for me. And they're going to get their blessings from the same place I'm going to get mine whenever it's time for me to get those blessings. I'm not as impatient as I am. Lord knows I am. I'm ready to go to the next chapter of my life. I'm ready for God to turn the pages for me to get to where I'm supposed to be. But because I know God can change my life in the blink of an eye, I can be a completely different person, living a completely different lifestyle. And like Prince said, did they put your $1 million check in somebody else's box? I feel like God has. And there's going to come a day when I'm going to get that check. And I want to know what to do with it. I want to be prepared for it. And to be honest, if people are hating on me when I don't have any money, I mean, they're really going to hate me when I come into my own and I actually have money. Because if you're going to hate on somebody, at least get the whole truth about who they are. Don't, the sacrifices I've made to be Mose Hart Jr. have been great. It has not been easy being this man. And it took me a long time to get to this place and to maintain this state of mind. And it's not easy. And people can see your life and they perceive you as this handsome, whatever, however people look at you. You can't apologize if you're light skinned, if you're dark skinned, you are who you are. We are blessed to be human beings, and we didn't all get the same DNA, the same body structure, the same aging process. It's not going to be the same for everybody. So to be hating on anybody is just pointless to me. And identifying the haters in your life is just to, sometimes you don't have to necessarily disconnect from them, but feed them with a long handle spoon. I think we have enough struggles that we just don't need nobody else tearing us down with what we're trying to do. And if you want to go to college again, if you want to have a baby, if you want to start a new relationship, if you want to get divorced, I don't think you need permission from anybody. And you need people around you to help you in your process. Again, I think to be envious and to be inspired is one thing, but to literally go out of your way to, again, dismiss somebody's joy or happiness is just not right. And I think we're living in a time life is too short. And I'm saying the same thing to family members that want to say things to you that's just, you don't have to cuss them out. You don't have to have the last word. I just say, you know what? Keep it moving. I just think we're living in a time where that might be the last thing you say to somebody. It ain't worth it. It's just not. There's a lot of people I don't like. They don't like me, and I'm okay with it. It's just, again, I'm not looking for approval, and you shouldn't be either. And I hope that you take from this that we have to coexist with haters, because you must be doing something great if they're hating on it. It must be really wonderful what you're doing. So I say keep doing it. Keep doing it and get better at it. Practice and keep practicing until you're like, no one else can do that but you. But I just want to say again, thank you for listening to my random thoughts and wisdom and experience in my stories. I really, really appreciate it. And we're knee deep into the holiday season, and I wouldn't be myself if I didn't talk about my store, All Things Moetic. And I just want to say that's where you get me, my poetry, my photography. I'm really proud of my framed poetry and my pictures, but I'm really proud of my framed poetry. There's a lot of poetry that I like to frame and give out as gifts during the holidays. And I think my framed poetry would be a great gift for a loved one. And the great thing about it is any ages can appreciate a good framed poem. And I just want to say that if you see something in my store, I can adjust it to any size. So if you see a picture that you want, if you want it as an 8 by 10, if you want it as a 16 by 20 or whatever, just reach out to me and I can make that happen. Again, it's one of those things that I'm really proud of my store. And I do hope you guys come by and take a look around and see. I'm going to be adding some more things shortly before the holidays are over, and at least before the new year. And also, I'm going to be working on my screenplay, which prayerfully will be finished. At least the first draft will be finished before the new year, and then I can start really getting the copyright process for that going. And then I'll share my journey with that whole screenplay. It's new territory for me, so I'm kind of looking forward to sharing that with you guys in 2023. And as always, thank you for listening. And I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world. And you have a wonderfully blessed day.